Welcome back to History in Motion, proudly brought to you by Midas. On this Hitachi race day, a record 42 Lotuses will take to the grid for round 4 of the Sabat Lotus Challenge. This event has attracted entries from as far afield as Cape Town in the form of Clinton Thorne, who brought his Class X Birkin 7 up to the Highveld to play. We catch up with Jeffrey Kruger, who makes a welcome return to the challenge.
It's great to be back. My grandpa built this car many years ago, and it's sort of been standing in the workshop, but now after the years we sort of built it up, and now it's finally on the track, so we're very happy to be here.
We normally have fields of about 15 cars, and here it's and only 5 corners to learn. Here it's 13 corners and 42 cars, so it's a different kettle of fish. I don't know how my start's going to be. I've never done a standing start, so yeah, we'll just see how it goes.
Canadian Jeff Gable comes through to take up his 3rd position on the 2nd row of the grid. Heading up the field is Glenton Rebello in his Class X prototype. Clippy's Cricker is 2nd on the grid with Cape Townian Clinton Thorne in 4th. Lauren Miller seems to have found some form since Swartkorps and is 10th on the grid, ahead of hubby Anton, who is 12th. The lights go out and they're off. A terrible start there for Clippy's Cricker, who has a dodgy clutch adding to his problems, and he has to be very gentle with it on the start. Almost half the field pour past him before he manages to get going. This will certainly give him some work to do as he has to pick his way through the field. Glenton Rebello leads the field, followed by Andrew Becker in Class A, who made a great start from 6th place. He leads Jeff Gable's Class B through Turn 2, with Neil Delata and Etienne Stratum hot on his heels. On board now with John Glover as he heads down to the bowl and takes the outside line past the 79 of Johan Nell. Carrying too much speed into the corner, he ends up missing the braking point, losing control and spinning his car across the track and onto the inside line, facing the wrong direction. Luckily, no one else was involved in the incident and no damage was done to Glover's car. After waiting for the whole field to pass, Glover rejoins the race and will have to work hard to regain his position. The Class B battle of Fred Alberts, Neville Reid and Anton Goose heads into Westbank nose to tail. Feeling the pressure, Neville Reid spins his Lotus and loses the position to Goose. Regaining his composure, Reid points his car in the right direction and will begin the task of making up the lost time. John Glover is a man on a mission as he makes his move on Tim Clamp in the Class C machine. A 3-way battle on Class L as Juan de Toy slides down the inside of Johan Powell, turning into the bowl, and Ben Knight chases him up the hill to turn 13. The Lotus Challenge really delivers great racing throughout the classes. Andreas Letnik leads Andreas Darfel in another Class B battle as they head towards the S's. Darfel is pushing hard. Race leader Glenton Rebello leads a determined Clippy's Cricker through the bowl. After his dismal start, Cricker has worked extremely hard to get back up to 2nd and will be disappointed that he couldn't have challenged Rebello's turbo-powered machine from the start. Rounding the final bend, Cricker is pushing really hard and the 2 cars run side by side towards the checkered flag. Rebello edges out victory by 0.12 seconds from Cricker. What a fantastic finish! Glenton Rebello looks very happy with his win and claps his hands after a great battle with Clippy's Cricker. Further back, the 3-way Class L battle between Juan de Toy, Johan Powell and Ben Knight heads round Westbank. There is nothing between them. Ben Knight has a look on the outside of Powell. He's pushing hard down to the mine shaft. By the time they make it to the bowl, Ben Knight has found his way past Johan Powell and is putting the power down. Up the hill to turn 13 and Knight has a look down the inside of Juan de Toy, but is not close enough. At the finish line, Juan de Toy leads Knight and Powell to the flag. Less than 0.2 of a second separated Ben Knight and Johan Powell when they crossed the line. Fantastic racing. Confirmation of the results then. Jeff Gable took Class B honours and set a new lap record at Kyalami for a Class B Lotus. Class L was won by Andre Duplessis, also setting a new record. Quinton Roux won Class C after the rest of the field broke out.
It was an awesome battle. Side-by-side racing, couple of laps, excellent racing. Competitive racing and in low cost as usual.
It was also awesome. I led the race for about a couple of laps and then John came past me. And then he kept me up in the corners, and then Ben came and took the victory. I came third, and then I lost it.
I just sort of waited at the back and then took my chance when it came. But it was awesome. It was fantastic fun. It's the closest racing I think I've ever had. So yeah, it was good fun and glad to sort of pass someone in the end.
Race 2 of the Sabat Lotus Challenge gets underway, and Clippy's Cricher will be hoping to get a better start. We go on board with Clinton Thorne as he accelerates off the start line. Jeff Gable making a rapid start and surging through to second place. Neil Delata is racing alongside Clippy's Cricher in third, coming through from 7th on the grid. Into turn 2, and it is Rebello ahead of Cricher, Gable and Delata. Clinton Thorne leads Glenn Clark in the 67 machine and Lauren Muller in the number 20. After his first race mishap, John Glover recovered well and will be looking for a good result in race 2. He makes his move down the inside of Lauren Miller, heading into Sunset, and takes the place. Gerda Smith in his Class L number 51 has retired with problems. Up into Westbank, and Neil Delata leads Clinton Thorne and Glenn Clark round and down into the mine shaft. Our Cape Townian visitor is pushing hard, eager to perform well in one of the biggest Lotus races he has competed in as he accelerates past Neil Delata. Into the bowl, and there's nothing in it between the three. Etienne Stradom and John Glover are side by side heading into Sunset. It's Stradom on the outside who has the power and manages to take the place from Glover. Sean Hewitt leads a gaggle of Class B cars through turn 3 with Fred Alberts and Johan Nel behind. Neville Reed leads Anton Goose from Anton Miller, who is in Tim Clamp's number 19 machine after Tim was unable to race in the second heat. Nose to tail, they head into Sunset. Neville Reed has a look down the inside of Nell, but doesn't really have the pace. Sparks fly there off Nell's car, and round Sunset they go. Into the bowl, and Neil Delata moves to the inside of Glenn Clark and looks to make his move. Side by side they exit, and it looks like Clark just has the edge on Delata as they head to turn 13. Just behind them, Glover and Muller continue their battle. Rebello leads Cricher with Thorne hot on their heels. Lauren Miller's pink wheel arch still adorns Cricher's car after he needed it for the last meeting at Swartkorps. Side by side, James Derbyshire and Michael Houghton in their Class C battle. Derbyshire has the edge and takes the place. With the Class C breakout times having been adjusted to 3 seconds less per lap, the competitors were eager to get a result in the second heat. Heading into Westbank, and Piero Del Bianco is about to get passed by Mark Futcher, who makes the move stick, and Johan now looks to follow him through, but doesn't quite have the speed. Quinton Ruiner's Class C Lotus has the leaders breathing down his neck as they come up to lap him, heading into the S's. Clippy's Cricher has taken the lead from Rebello, with Thorne still in third. Jeffrey Kruger in his Class C 76 is being pursued by Clive Vilmot in the number 7B, who in turn is coming under pressure from Andre Duplessis. Vilmot makes an error under pressure and pirouettes to the side of the track. He points his nose in the right direction and continues on his way, having lost 2 places. Coming out of turn 13 and heading down to turn 14, it's Michael Houghton leading the chasing pack behind. But Houghton is pulling off into the gravel with problems. His front suspension has collapsed, and it's game over for the number 55 Class C car. Piero Del Bianco leads Juan de Toy in 77L, who is being chased down by the 36B of Carl Sharp through turns 3 and 4. Del Bianco runs wide into 4, taking an excursion into the gravel and rejoining the track behind Sharp. He quickly regains his pace though and looks to make a move on Dutoy as they head towards Sunset. Dutoy has the momentum though and manages to keep Del Bianco behind him. At Westbank, Clinton Thorne is putting the pressure on Clippy's Cricher, but he doesn't quite have the speed. Into the bowl they come. Both drivers really pushing hard as they head up into turn 13, the blue flag being waved to let the cars in front know the leaders are coming through. Across the finish line, and it's Clippy's Cricher who hangs on to take the victory, just under half a second ahead of Thorne. Rebello took third, 12 seconds further back. Jeff Gable took a fantastic Class B victory, just 1,000th of a second ahead of Etienne Stradom. Andre Duplessis took the win in Class L, and Sean Allen took the spoils in Class C. Great to see all the drivers celebrating on the podium.
Yeah, I think it was a nice change of scenery. So, no, I think John and I were separated by, my goodness, the proverbial blanket. So I think the first few laps were just incredible. Yeah, we were chopping and changing places. So, no, it was a good day.
Yeah, it was a very nice race. Lauren took a sneak up inside me a few times. I got her back. I think we changed places about 8 times. Then she snuck past me, and then I made a stupid mistake and spun on coming onto the straight, and she got away. So it was a well-deserved 4th place.
That was great. I had a lot of fun. Started on pole. Tyres a little bit on the tired side. Kim had it behind me for about 4 laps, and then he got ahead, made a couple of mistakes. Then Clinton was on my tail and did a great pass and passed me. But just awesome to be out on the track. It's a special track, and Lotus Racing in itself is special too.
All credit to the car, built by Bryn Jones in 2008, and it was a great race.
A quick question. What does the Zulu word Kyalami mean in English? Find out after the break.
Join us after the break for 384 Sports and GT action on the Midas Historic Tour.